So, hey, this is Jenna as Winnie the Pooh.
I hate that costume so much.
The weirdest character we've ever accidentally created and then warped beyond all recognition. So skits, the general definition of a skit is telling a small story. So in a skit, usually there's a point A and there's a point B, and it's about getting from point A to point B. So usually there's a plot, usually there's a problem that people have to overcome, or there's a punchline. Skits can be very long, or they can be very short. But the point is, they have to tell a story. Or like that's what the definition is, that they should be telling a story. So something should be going on. And then the next question is, do we script it, or do we not script it? So two questions to ask then are like, what's the venue? So are you at a convention? Are you on stage? If you mess up, are you going to be able to delete things and then redo it? If you are able to redo things, so if it's live, then you might want to try scripting your skit, because then there's just more weight behind what you're doing, and then you don't get on stage and realize you don't know what to say next.
And even if you do mess up, you have a general guideline of where you wanted the skit to go, so you can kind of try to redirect it into the direction that you wanted it.
And then secondly, what's the comfort level of your actors? So for example, I don't like scripted stuff. I'm bad at memorizing scripts. So for me, my comfort level is entirely in improvisation, like that. I don't like when things are scripted. I like to not know what I'm doing, which is a strange concept, but that's me. So for example, when we went to a con in Australia, we had to do 2 skits, and so we had to script them both, because they were ahead of time. Or they were thought of ahead of time, and we had to practice. And Jenna had it memorized in like 2 read-throughs, and I was memorizing up to the moment we went on stage. Like I still didn't have it down. So we were practicing like the back of this weird theme park that they like allowed us to use, and we were going through it, and I couldn't get all of it. I couldn't memorize it. So we went on stage, and it all went fine, but I started improvising. I told you I'm sick. I started improvising because I lost the script in my head. I couldn't go any further. So thankfully, because Jenna knew the script, because her comfort level is in reading scripts, like she can do that very easily, she can also improvise, so she's got both down. She was able to redirect me, because she knew the script very well, and as I started, like, I skipped over a part, and then she improvised to bring me back to that same part. So it's good to have people with varying abilities on your team. Also, for example, this is a picture of a skit we did with, it was at Fanime, it was a Tales of the Abyss skit, and it was done with Melinda Chan. So we asked if she would do a skit with us. She said yes, because we decided to cosplay together. And her comfort zone was entirely in scripted. Like, she's just like, give me a script, I'll memorize those lines, I got it down. I was not comfortable at all with improvising. So we wrote out an entire script and gave her the lines, and she just had them down, and that was her comfort level. So everyone's very different. Speaking of improv, I love my dead-eyed stare. This is our friend Courtney, who we talked about a lot in great detail. If you were here last night, then you've heard war paint. Yeah, war paint. This is the girl. Yeah. So improv is about getting from A to B to C, and then onwards. So with improv, you're moving. So there's a trajectory in improv, and it's good with an improv skit to know what the beginning is and what the end should be. So you have a direction in terms of where you're going. It's sort of like, improv is like running a race blindfolded. If you don't know when the race ends, you're just gonna keep running. So it's good to know when your improv skit ends, or like what the feeling of the ending will be. So this might mean like, okay, so we're doing an improv skit, and it's gonna be about Cole and Sarah solving mysteries. And their mystery is going to be, who stole the bees. And we'll know we've reached the end when Cole discovers that the bees were inside of all of us all along.
Oh.
And so that would be like an indication of when we've reached the ending. Otherwise we could just keep going forever.